Hey, hey, hey. You remember Rerun used to say that? Hey, hey, hey. So what's up, y'all? So tonight, I know a lot of people have been waiting for this chat. I already have credit chats in there. I actually have three in there. So make sure you guys check out those other chats. This chat is pretty much about, we're going to talk about inquiries. So we're going to start off with inquiries first. 2026, that's what we're going to start off with. Okay. So, inquiries are supposed to stay on for probably 2 years. But there are times when you can call, especially Equifax. They are so good. Equifax will take it right off. You call them, you can dispute it with them over the phone. Sometimes they'll take it off. I'm not saying they're going to do that for everybody. I'm not saying that's what's supposed to happen, but it did happen. Okay. Um, Check your credit report, see what's in there. Okay. Um, I would run the free Experian. Sometimes Experian says, do you want to check all three credit reports? If you do, you do it for 30 days. The 29th day, call and cancel it. Okay. If you don't, you have to pay the $30. Okay. Even though it's going to give you three scores, and they're not going to be housing scores. Remember, your housing scores are going to be on FICO. Okay, FICO.com are your housing scores. But you still can use what Experian is giving you. Okay, look at your report, scroll down till you get to your inquiries. Okay, see how many you have, because yeah, those are points. Those are points. See how many you have. Look and see when you got them. Okay, so I don't care even if the ones that's 2 years old, do all of them. So you're going to. I think I have a letter in there. Find one of those chats that's in the credit chat. I think I do have a chat letter in there. But generally, you are going to dispute one. This should be off of my credit report. It's already been 2 years. Okay, if you have something in there that you scanned for 2 years ago and it's still there and it should be off by January 15th and it's still there, you have to let them know to take it off. Okay. Two, if you have other inquiries in there, put those in there too. I don't, you're not going to be like, this is mine, but that's mine. This is mine, but that's mine. Just, it's time for it to come off. It's either time for it to come off or it's something that you didn't do. I know when you go to a car dealer, they run you 59,000 times. Okay. You only gave them permission to run your report one time. Okay. Not 20 times. So you would dispute that. Okay. I did not give them permission to run my credit report 59 times. Okay. Now there is a generic letter that you're just going to write them. Okay. I will post a link to a letter that you can use. Okay, it's just a generic letter. It might be in the chat. It might be in your credit chat that I did. One of the two. One, two, three. This is for. I think it's in two. Check the one that's in two. Okay. And that was probably one of my days where I did. One day I think I had came back from jogging and I literally was done. And I promised to do that chat, and I tuck it out. Y'all should see me on the couch trying to do the chat, and I did the chat. But see if I have a letter in there. So that's the route that we're going to take today. We're going to take that today for inquiries. Now, for you to save a stamp, okay, to save a stamp, I would dispute it online, not with the credit bureau. Go with the FNCB first. Okay? Go with them first. Attach it to them. Let me see something, y'all. Hold on. Hold on. You're going to attach it to them. Let me see if I can get the website. I forgot what it was. Hold on, y'all. So this is a site, where you make your disputes at. Hold on. And here, I would rather do it in here because it still saves you an envelope. All right, hold on. I gotta go on my stash. I gotta go on my stash. I don't know if this is the right one or not. But when you make a dispute with the Fair Credit Reporting Bureau, all right, you can attach that dispute on it. And that saves you from having a stamp. Okay? It saves you from having a stamp. Let me see if I can get it. Hold on. If you have, even if you have 12, 13, 14, I don't care how many it is. Here it is right here. I'm going to try to put it up there for you. Do all of them. Okay? Don't just do the ones that are old. All right. Right. We want consumer protection, but I want the one. Okay, so it's Federal Trade Commission, but there is a link that's in here where you are going to dispute something. Okay, and I'm gonna post it down below. All right, but that's where I want you to go first. Okay, when you go there, you don't have to use a stamp because once you dispute it with them, they will forward it to your insurance company. Insurance company, because I got the insurance thing on my mind. Okay, they'll forward it over to Experian. Let me see if we can do it. Shh. No, this one is given like a complaint. They might have changed this, but I'm pretty sure it's in here. Okay, but at any rate, you can write your own letter. Tell them why you want it off. Tell them that it's 2 years old and it should come off. If there is something on there that you did not approve, as far as an inquiry, you can have they will take it off. Okay. The reason you want to kind of dispute everything at that one time is because if you dispute something today and then next week go dispute something else, it's going to knock out what you disputed today. Okay. Even if it is a card or something like that may have your wrong name or may have your wrong information on there. Okay, I'll look at that later. They have your wrong information on it, you still can dispute it. Okay. So what you're going to do is try and attach your documentation together. You're going to put your stapler in it. And the reason why you're going to put a stapler in it is so that it does not go through the AI system and starts checking stuff. You know how you put in an application, in your application, it'll kick back, approved or denied. It's a computer doing it. When you have a physical person looking at something and you can go, okay, look, this is what happened. Now your computer ain't going to read this. Okay. Now you denied me. Okay. But you didn't deny me. Your computer did. Hear my story. Hear my story. That's what you're going to say. When you put in for something, okay, and that's what happens. Like, I'm not saying everybody's the same, but if you put in for some type of credit, they have a system. It's an automated system that will deny you based on something they may have seen in your credit. But you might have a story. So take your story to the physical person. Take your story to, look, this is what happened. Now, I know your AI is reading this, but I didn't actually do that. I got this far and this is what happened. Or I really did pay this off and they just didn't so-and-so. So if you don't back yourself up, and then just let the AI system okay, get out of here, Oh, but well, wait a minute. There's a possibility that I could have been approved. You want to talk up for yourself. It's the same thing with disputing something. Put the stapler in there, highlight what you need to highlight, make it as hard as possible for them to put it through that machine. Once it goes through there and it says, okay, we reviewed it, we're done, so and so. No, you want a physical eye looking at your paperwork. If you have 20 in there, you're going to do each one. Okay, each one will be disputed. Each one will be disputed. What I do is I would have my letter for each one of them. I make it as hard as possible so that they can look at my full report. And it's not, okay, then it's switched to the side, especially if you're getting ready to do the house buying. If you're getting ready to do the house buying, let's start. Thank you so much. Let's start with the inquiries. Okay, and I know I should be more prepared, but I had to go outside and I just came back in like 2 minutes ago. But go look at one of the other chats. This is like your roundabout. Um, when you make that dispute, okay, you're going to put whatever date that you got the inquiry there and whoever the inquiry is from. Okay, there's a letter that's in there. And this is a trick point. Go to the search engine. Type in "show me a dispute letter for inquiries." Then type up the letter yourself. Okay? Because you don't want to copy nobody's letter. Then you change it around a little bit. That's how you get rid of plagiarism. Okay? If you take something and you change it around and make it differently than it is your original creation. But if it's there for you to use, then go ahead and use it. Okay? So when you do that, it will take probably about 30 days, for them to actually even take it off. But when you dispute it online with FTC, they will take it off immediately. Now, do your research. Do your research. Do your research because you want to know what they can do and what they can't do. Okay, now on my other chat, it's in there. Okay, so that's why I'm not going to break it down too much. It's already in there. I'm going to do a follow-up chat on this probably on the weekend. And I got to figure out how to show you the letter that I have. I already put it in the other chat. We just kind of backtracking, okay? Somebody asked me for a credit chat on the inquiry, so that's why we're doing that. Okay, now, does inquiries take points? Yeah, they do. They do. You might gain another 10. You might gain another 15. But they do cause issues. They're hard. They're hard inquiries. They'll tell you, oh, it's just a light inquiry. Oh, it's just... And then when you look at your point, well, I had that. So and so and so and so. If you got like 700 and you can afford to lose one or two or something like that, it's okay. But if you do something unintentionally, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that. I meant to pull that back. I really wasn't ready for that. I hit the button. I did that the other day with Amazon. Bang, and all of a sudden I had all this stuff. And you know what I'm saying? I won't do that no more. But you still want to just be precarious about, hitting buttons and X, Y, Z because they show up on your credit report and you don't know where it came from. So inquiries are going to be on all three credit reports. There are some that will not hit the other. Okay, so you might have something that didn't hit TransUnion. You might have something that did not hit Equifax, but you want to look at all three of your reports. Okay, so remember there are different ones. Your Advantage score is what Experian is going to kick up. Now, the Advantage scores are not used in the home buying process. No, okay, they are not used in the home buying process. All right. You can go to Experian and then you're going to type on the little house right there. That little house is going to give you your score for Experian. Okay, it's not going to give you your scores that you need if you want to just see where you're at in the house buying process. Okay, you can do FICO.com and you can look at that. I'm still looking for that website that I had in here. Okay, you could do FICO.com. I like FICO.com for the house beginning process because that's where your go-to is. I don't know what happened to my girl. She used to come on and she used to do people who the credit wasn't good, and then she had like brokers that would get them there. She doesn't come on anymore, but I think she has a YouTube. I'm not really sure, but I'm gonna find out what happened to her because she was really good. She was really good. So again, in the home buying process, use FICO. Okay, but you can use Experian for those 3 free credit reports. Okay, you have 30 days. After those 30 days, they will charge you. Okay, but you have a right to cancel it. All right, you have a right to cancel it if you want to. Okay, your thing is you just need to know what's in those 3 credit reports. Even Advantage, it's still in there, But again, you might have a credit company that didn't look at TransUnion, but you still want to look at it so you can see what's in there. Okay, so that's what you're going to do today. So you want to dispute everything that's on there. When you go to FTC, you're going to upload them. They're going to say, they're going to ask you what happened. They're going to say, what's your account number? Let me see if I can get it right. I know. I know the government did something with this site, and if they changed it to where we can't do it anymore. Let me see something. If they did, then you go ahead and do your letter. Okay? Go ahead and do your letter. Okay, hold on. Some people actually do both. I don't think both is necessary. I think you can do it. I got it wrong. It's the CFPB. All right, hold on. Let me get in there. There you go. I thought they took it off and changed it. Okay. Um, I can't put it up there, but what I can do is I can copy this link. All right, y'all. So I got the link. Okay, so this link is where you go. It's called the CFPB. You can save a stamp, okay? If you do your dispute here, you don't need to use a stamp, and this is the quickest way to dispute something in your credit report. When I was buying my house, I wish I would pay 100, 200, 300. I wouldn't pay a dime to fix my credit because I done it myself and for plenty. Okay. I mean, even when we were buying my sister's house, she was so paranoid. I was like, don't touch it, don't buy anything. When you are buying a house, okay, you cannot mess around. If you go and spend something off that card, you have to put it back immediately, because on that cycle, 2 days before that date, it will report. So if you buy something on the 1st, put it back by the 22nd. Okay? Put it back by the 22nd. Because every cycle count. Once that cycle comes around, it drops in your report. So don't so when the mortgage company checked your credit, it has to be just like how it was when they checked it, or it has to be more. You can see your payment. So you can't. So don't you can't not have credit. They have to see you paying on something. They have to see stuff is current. One of my girlfriends, she had like 800, and she probably paid off everything, and she got to 800. But guess what? The mortgage people said, no, we can't use you. I mean, okay, 1% mortgage or XYZ, but the reason why she didn't get the mortgage is because she didn't have a history. They have to see your history of payment. Don't get discouraged. Don't think they need to see everybody got to be perfect. No, you do not have to be perfect. Okay? Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has a little something in their report. Okay? But she was like 800, and they would not give her that mortgage. Okay? Unless, she added her husband onto the mortgage, which wasn't even, as good as hers, but that's what had to happen. So if you do get yourself up to that high 800, make sure you keep paying on your stuff. Keep it down to at least 20%. At least 20%. Okay? But that is the link for the CFPB. Let me see. So it's Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. And this is my shortcut go-to all the time. When you go to this website, you're going to look at the top, and it's going to say submit a complaint. In your complaint, you're going to tell them, well, listen, Experian is supposed to take out this at a certain amount of time, and here it is now already 2 years over, and they have not taken out this inquiry. Okay. They have to look at it because the CFPB is taking in your complaint. They are sending it to the Experian, because you're going to do each one. Experian, TransUnion, or whatever. This is saving you time. They have to get back to the CFPB. It is the law. They have to. Now you send something off here. There's oh man, it's 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Oh my God, they get ready to check my credit again. Oh my God, they get the mortgage company get ready to check my credit again. I can't. That's why you're gonna go to CFPB first. Do it through them. Don't do it through ExperianDispute.com or EquifaxDispute.com. They're not gonna be quick about it because they got rules that they're supposed to do. I put a lot of those rules on the other chat, but I want you always listen. You got a search engine, you got a Grok. What I don't know about that Grok thing, okay? But you got stuff that you can check online, and it will tell you right from wrong without you paying somebody $500. Okay, so in the other chat, I put up a law that they are supposed to do. Okay, and that law tells them, okay, you're supposed to get back to them in this amount of time. If this is on their credit report past 2 years, it's supposed to have fell off anyway. You're going to gain at least 10 points. Okay, when you're buying a house, and let's say you checking Rocket Mortgage, you're just messing with them just to see where you at. Okay, just see where you at. You know what your FICO scores are. Remember, Experian is not going to give you the FICO scores, the house scores that you need. They will give you one. When you go to Experian, you're going to scroll down, you're going to see that little house, and it's going to tell you what your score is for your house. And you're going to see a little car on Experian, it's going to tell you what your car score is. Totally different. Totally different. They don't look at none of that. It's a different credit score for different things. Okay? When you're buying your house, they're going to check 3 of those scores. Okay? And you need to see those scores before they do. You need to see those scores before they do. Okay? Go to usethefico.com. Now they ain't fooling with you unless you pay up front. They ain't gonna be like Experian. But you gotta think about it. You get ready to take your house journey, and I know a lot of people who get ready to do the house journey. That's why I got into the mortgage thing. That's why I got into the mortgage and the insurance and stuff, and the life insurance and the finances. I got into that because a lot of questions that I get in regards to that. And a friend of mine came to me and he introduced me to what he does and the company that he works for. And lo and behold, they hired me. So you know Miss Lambert doing 1,000 things. But I do that because that's how I got to give back to you. I need to find out. Because you can ask my sisters. I'm like, problem, what happened? They had my sister's house ready in XYZ town. I almost took the dude head off. You got my sister's money. You know, what's going on with the house? That's how I want you to be with your credit report. When you send stuff to CFPB, they have to look at it. Remember, don't send something today and then change your mind. You got to send everything at one time. Okay? You can put it on a sheet for this, a sheet for that, and then you guys are going to upload it. Okay? You're going to upload it. So even if it's inquiries that are old, you want to look at the ones that are already on there too. Okay, I would just put them all in there. This needs to come off. That needs to come off. I don't remember that. I don't know what they did that for. They got about 5 days to get back to them with, okay, this is her driver's license. She did this at this time and she didn't. That's why she did it. If they don't do that, then they got to take it out. They got to take it out. Okay, so make sure that you do that. And again, some of you that are starting the home buying process, this is going to be our first step. Okay, this will be our first step. Okay, the next step is to look at the rest of what's in your credit report. Okay, the most damaging thing to you is a collections. Okay, the damaging thing to you is a collections. Can you get rid of a collections? Can you dispute the collections? Of course you can. Same thing. CFPB, you're going to get that dispute in there, and they need to be working on that dispute right now. If it's something that's already in there past the 7 years, it should come out anyway. It's not supposed to be in there. They're not supposed to look at it. Okay. One of the things I want you to do is do the Experian. You can chime in for they got a free Experian, and you can do the 1 or you can do the 3. I think it's like a fee for the 3, but they give you 30 days. You get 30 days free. And look at all three of them. Even if it's Advantage, you can look at them. You can still look at them because the inquiries are still in there. If you don't want to do that, Experian has a free one as well, and TransUnion also has a free one if you don't want to get them straight from Experian. Okay, but they use the same type of system. Okay, let me go back in here. Okay, so get that down, and I gave y'all the link. You're going to submit the complaint, and you're just going to say what happened. And then when it gets to, it's going to say, well, what do you want them to do? You want them to remove this from your credit report. Okay, I'm looking for something right now. Okay, so let me see. Um, Okay, so y'all know, just like there's different credit reports, there are different it's different values. So we got Equifax. Okay, that's all three of them: Equifax, TransUnion, and also the Experian. But let me see. I want y'all to see, and I forgot we have identity theft too. Okay, so hold on. Let me see. So, because even though they run your credit report, there are different FICO scores. But the one that I like to talk about is the ones that we pretty much use to buy a home. Okay? And I'm going to just give you two different loans that I'm most familiar with. Okay, there are USDA and VA, but FHA and conventional loan. Okay. Now, it used to be 640. They lowered it a little bit, so it's a 620 or higher for conventional. And FHA, I think they could go as low as 580 with 3.5% down. Okay, so that's the type of credit score you want to look for. I would rather just do the 620 across the board. Okay, so if you do have a 580 in between, or you have anything lower, they're going to want 10%. Okay, but your FICO scores is what I want you to look at when it's time for you to do it. You might be not now. You might do it in a year or two, or you don't know, but you may be ready to do that at some point. But those FICO scores are the ones that's going to help you. I was trying to see if they had it on, sometimes they have it like 29. Because it steadfast to $39.99. To me, $39.99 is a lot. But they're going to give you all three. This FICO.com. They're going to give you all three. Okay? We ain't sponsoring nobody. But this is the one that people do use. The normal one for Experian is normally the one that we just kind of go on. That's the FICO 8. Okay, I think the mortgage one uses more the FICO 2, but let me make sure that's not the car one. You see how I'm saying different FICOs, right? There's different FICO scores that they use. I know the FICO 8 is the Experian one. Let me look at mine. Mommy. Okay, so yeah, it's going to give you a list of the FICO scores that you're going to need. But what I want you to focus on is getting that score to where you need to get it. Because they have FICO 8, FICO 10, FICO 6. I mean, there are so many different ones, but you want to focus on the ones that you need. Okay, and I'm just kind of throwing that in with fixing the inquiries first. Because this is first. We started this first. We're fixing the inquiries first. And I mean, many years ago, you're talking about a townhouse for like $97,000, like $300,000 now. I'm telling you, I wouldn't believe it. I would not believe it if I didn't see it with my own eyes. So, if you're not planning on getting your house now, what if you're planning on getting it a year or two later? Is triple. Now, I haven't researched this thing about this 50-year mortgage. I mean, it could be good. It could be good for, the lower your mortgage, or, I don't know. I call it rent. We have a mortgage and you just still paying, and only $2 is going to the mortgage. To me, you're literally renting. But it's still your house, and it's still, you still can make it how you want it. You got your yard, you got your backyard, your front yard. You may have a brand new home, So, the goal is, to get that straight. So if some of you have lost your job, some of you are starting all over, you have to have your job for 2 years, not necessarily the one that you're on now. The underwriters are going to find they're going to find 2 years worth of work. If you've moved around on jobs, 2 years here, no, not 2 years, a year here, 2 months there, 3 months there. I don't care if it's 5 years ago. They're going to find 2 years worth of work for you. Okay. But if you're already on that one job for 2 years, that's a plus, because now you don't have to be digging and finding all this kind of stuff for them. Okay. They're going to want 2 months worth of bank statements. They're going to want 2 months worth of bank statements. And that's like a goal that you can do to start getting yourself ready to purchase this house. Don't think it is out of your reach. I'm telling you. Don't think it is out of your reach. You just have to put your head on and do it, especially while you are working. Okay, especially while you are working. Because 2 days before your closing, they're going to call and make sure you work there. Okay? In your credit report, write down what you need to do. I have like a little book out. Y'all know I write in everything. Um, get you a little book. And this is going to be your credit book. I don't know what that is. This is going to be your credit book. Okay, a little book like this. This is going to be your Fix My Credit book. Okay? I have tons of them, trust me. And, you want to make sure you get those credit cards down to 20%. When you make that dispute on those experience and they take it off and it's finished, okay, now you want to do your next dispute if you have not put them all in there at one time. Okay, I would do inquiries, and that's it, all of them across the board. Once they finish with that, now I'm going back in. What else is in here? Okay, what else is in here? Put them, if you have disputes for credit card companies, then you want to still put them on that one sheet. You still want to put them on that one dispute paper. So don't forget, you're going to put your date, you're going to put Experian, you're going to put the account number that they have it on, right? And you're going to put the date that it occurred in there. What I used to do, which I would still do, I screenshot the credit report, little piece right here. I screenshot that full piece with the account number, how much they say you owe, the date you have it, what the balance is. Screenshot it, put it on a piece of paper. They have right then and there exactly what's already in their credit report. You didn't wrote nothing. You just put it right in there. And then you got your book. You're going to put the date in here when you disputed what you disputed, so you can keep up with it. If you let them run your report on Monday and your credit score is 640, and the next 2 weeks when that inquiries come off, it may go to 640, it may go to 650. If you put something in dispute, now I only say dispute because sometimes you just want to see. But what if this is not on there? Because you're not going to submit that to the mortgage company. Many years ago, I had stuff in dispute. I had no idea. I went for the mortgage. Oh no, you got to take those out of dispute. You can't have anything in dispute. You can have something in dispute under 500 or something like that. Anything over 1,000, no. But you don't want anything in dispute, because when you put something in dispute, it takes it off your credit report. If you have 5 things that's negative and you put it in dispute, it's going to give you 100 overnight, 60 overnight, 70 overnight. And you go, oh, wow. You had no idea. When you take them out of dispute, they're coming right back on there. So don't put it in dispute if you're going to have them run you. If while you are working on your report and you want to see what you will get if it wasn't in there, drop them in dispute. Drop them in dispute. When I mean drop them in dispute, you just pretty much going to dispute it with the company, with Experian, or whichever one of them you're going to dispute. Okay. It may be, this has the wrong date, or it may be, this is not mine, or it may be, I don't remember this, XYZ. They have to give you information from the time you applied for whatever. The company has to, produce it to them. Okay, so and that's just for you to kind of see what you would be if you did put that, in dispute. What you want to do is keep them at 20%. If you spend them, if you spend them, you watch your credit report move. I was like a vulture. I was like a vulture on my credit report. I wouldn't blink. If I had to go to McDonald's, let me put that back. Wait a minute. If you don't put it back before the cycle, before your statement get ready to drop, it's going to show. So when you're fixing your credit, just make sure you are monitoring the credit. No, you don't need to spend all this kind of money. It's not going to take overnight. It's going to take a minute for you to get everything how you want it, depending on what's on your credit report, depending on what's on there. But you can at least start with the inquiries. You can start with the inquiries. If you are going to opt into the house buying, and they've checked your credit already, right? And they go, well, we need you to do this, and that. You cannot buy anything. You cannot buy anything. Okay. You can pay bills. You can pay bills out of, your credit, credit cards. Just put it back. So if you pay the bill today and you get paid next Friday, just put it back. The credit score will be the same. Because when they get ready to run it again, it's going to be about a week before your closing, or maybe 4 days before your closing. The mortgage company is going to run it again, or whichever bank you have it with. So you want to kind of keep that fluctuating, fluctuating away, keep it level. Okay. But like I said, the first thing that we're going to start with is the inquiries. Look at all three. Use Experian because they have 30 days for free. If you want to see where your mortgage scores are at right now, then you need to do the FICO. Okay, do the FICO so you can actually see all three of them. And you just pretty much analyze in your report just like how you would do anything else. Okay, because that's the only, you have to start. That's the only way you're going to be able to start. You have to dive in and start doing it. And yeah, you got a million things to do, but what if at some point, you are going to be ready to be housebound? Okay, if you got your car already, okay, that is already in there. They're going to put it in your DTI, your debt to ratio. It will already be in there. If you have student loans in it, it will already be in your debt to ratio. Okay, how much do you spend versus how much can you afford for this house? Right? So, I mean, that's what, you kind of want to weigh. I mean, you're not going to get yourself ready for a house and then after, they run your report and everything, you buy a car. Because that's going to limit the amount of money that you can afford, because they put the amount of money that you can afford for the house or that you want into the DTI of the bills that you're already paying. They're adding that together. Okay. So, and that's one of the hardest things, because I've seen people, do the house and then they want to, buy a car. You have to get the car first and then go. Don't go. You can't get the car after they run your credit. All right. But again, after the inquiries, now you're going to tackle what's on top of the inquiries. What is in there? Try to have at least 4 credit cards. 4 to 5 credit cards. Okay. It can be a mix of, it can be a mix of Visa credit card or whatever, American Express. Just let it be a mix of cards, a store card or 2. They just want to see a pattern of payment. And you've got to have them for at least 6 months. Okay. If you know somebody who can give you more information, get it out of them. Get it out of them. I have a wonderful broker that I had, and I have a wonderful realtor. They both cool. They both cool. I have a new one now, the dude that I work with, but um, don't be afraid to ask him something. Don't be afraid to ask him anything. Because the broker generally, he's just gonna find you a mortgage. Somebody who's gonna give you a mortgage. And a lot of times they know people. You never know. They know people who can help you out. Okay, Brandy, you need to do this, do this, do this, do this. Okay, and it's gonna be paperwork, 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 time after time. I'm telling you, but it'll be useless if your credit ain't right and you still want to dabble in it. Okay, how you gonna get to the closing part, where the part that they say it's time for you to come to the table and you have your money in there? Don't worry about it. Faith gonna get that money for you. Okay, because where you gonna save, you're not gonna even eat a piece of bread. I think I probably lost 40 pounds during that time. I don't even think I ate a piece of cheese. Because your mind is on this house. Your mind is on this house. So that's where we're going now. Okay? That's where we're going now. So when you guys get ready to do it, you will not have that much issues. That CFPB is where you're going to make your disputes. It's going to save you a stamp and save you time. So when you go on there, you're going to create an account. Then you can follow up with your dispute on CFPB. You don't need to follow it up with Experian or one of them, because they'll all be in there. So you might see in there and they say, oh, they removed this, or they're still working on it. It will be in your CFPB account. Okay, it will be in your CFPB account. Um, If you also want to look at your auto scores, you can look at your auto scores in there as well, in the FICO. Experian also has an auto score. You can also look in there as well. I know Lexus uses Experian. Lexus uses Experian, and they use whatever the auto score is in Experian. So that's pretty much it with the Equifax. You can go online, like I said, and find you a generic letter. Just use what's in it to make it your own, okay, and dispute that. Then when that dispute is over in about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whenever you see, run your credit report again and it's not on there, okay, now it's time to fix something else. Okay, make sure you have your name, your date, your account number, and what the issue is. It's a certain type of verbiage that you also want to use in that. I think in my credit report chat 2, it's in there. I have to fix that thumbnail because this is actually chat 4, but I'm gonna go ahead and fix that. So I didn't even know it was dark. What time is it? Wow. So just follow along, get your folder, get your notebook, and that's where you're going to start. Okay. And you don't have to be buying the house. I'll just be throwing that in there when I do the credit, because a lot of times that's where a lot of people are headed. And you might not have 1,500 for somebody to clear your report. You might not have XYZ for somebody to clear a report. But if you type in a lot of stuff online, you get a lot of answers. You get a lot of answers. It's a part of doing research. It's a part of doing research. In I think the second credit report chat, I have letters in there for y'all to use. I put them up on the screen for y'all to use. All y'all have to do is either screenshot them, save them, or retype them. So look in the credit report chat too. But again, we're gonna start with Experian, the CFPB. Make sure you hit that link, and that's going to save you a stamp. They're going to ask you, what do you want them to do? I want them to take this out of my credit report. This is 2 years old. Inquiry is only supposed to be in there for 2 years. It should be gone. Or if it is an inquiry that is not yours, then you tell them, this is not mine. I want this removed. Okay, it's a generic letter in one of my chats. If you want to go online and say, show me a dispute letter for inquiries, they will give you a dispute letter for inquiries on search engine or whatever. Okay, and all you're going to do is just type it up to fit you. I have the one that I gave you was like a generic one, or it's like a blank. All you have to do is fill it in. Just fill it in, and you give it to them. Or you can type it up on your own letter. You're gonna put each one in there, and you're gonna put when it was put in there and your expiration and when they're supposed to take it out. This should be out of my credit report. Experience is in violation of XYZ. This needs to come out. So when you hit that and you register for CFPB, they will forward it over to. Let me get back over there. They will forward it to Experian. They'll forward it to TransUnion. For whichever one you're doing it for, you're going to do each one. Okay, you're going to do each one, and then after it's over, they'll send you a copy of your credit report. Now, when you go on here, it does have Equifax, Experian, XYZ. It's already on there. Now, in the other chat, the addresses are there. I gave you all the addresses of all of them. Okay, but this one I'm just kind of going over just so when you go on there, you know what to do. When you first get on there and you scroll down and it's giving you those three and it's giving you websites, you're not going there. You're going up in the corner where it says submit complaint. Where it says submit complaint, that's where you're going to start. If you don't have an account with them, you're going to make an account. Okay, so it's going to say start complaint. Okay, and then it's going to say let's get started. Okay, if you already have an account, it's going to say or I already have an account. You're just going to click that one. Okay, and then it'll pull up your account. But what I would do, like I said, I would do this. Don't let them trick you by putting, you see all three credit bureaus there and there's a link there. Okay, you're not going to hit that. You're going to go up in the corner and hit submit complaint. And then when you hit complaint, you see a blue tab. It's going to say start complaint. That's for everything. We're going to do that for everything. And then if you already have one, then you're just going to click submit. I already have one. If you don't, just put your information right there in your email, because CFPB is going to get back to you by email to say, okay, we've handled this, we've contacted them, and this was their decision. Okay, but you, again, more than likely, you're going to check your credit. I would check my report in like 3 days after. 5 days after, I would check it. Okay, because they've got 5 days to actually get back to CFPB. So you want to keep following up on it. Keep following up on it if you don't see anything. But 9 times out of 10, they'll get it settled, and you're going to get an email. And again, that's the fastest way to have them look at your credit report. Okay, if you see something on there that's not yours or that's not unfamiliar with you, that's a whole different type of letter. It's in look at my chat too. That is pretty much I'm not familiar with this. This is you're gonna put the name of the company. I did not get this. Give me what they gave you. Especially if you're something online and you don't know where it came from, check it out. Now, you're going to keep up with that. Remember, if you do your first dispute, okay, don't piggyback it and do another one. What you do right then and there, let them work on that. When they finish with that, then you have them work on something else. Because remember, like I told you, if you work on something on Monday, you put something in on Tuesday, it's going to bump. And they're going to knock the first one out. Oh, okay. Now let's start working on this one. Because they're not going to work on two things. They're going to knock that out and start something else. So you're going to start with your inquiries and let them work on that. And then we're going to start with the body. Okay? Because you don't want them confused with what they're doing. They have any excuse or reason for what they're doing. But I'm sure you've heard people say that before, especially on, there's a lot of credit channels and stuff that we have that are on YouTube. But that's what you want to do, okay? So that's free. You don't have to pay for that, and it's a quick way, okay? If you got an emergency that you got to just look at your credit report, oh, Lord, they get ready to run your credit report and see what's in there. Run it and see what's in there. Because if you get ready to go for something, you don't want them just running your credit report because you're just random. I don't know if I get approved or not. I don't care. And yeah, you do care. Don't let them run your credit report just because you just running it, because you're going to lose a point or two. And then when you get ready to buy your house, you're going to see all these little points up there. Don't do that. Don't do that. You see what's in your credit report yourself before you let that happen. If you're going for apartment, ask them. Ask them. Say, what are you using? You using Experian? Are you using, XYZ? They'll tell you what they're using. They'll tell you what they. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to ask them. Trust me. I mean, you're gonna see it in your credit report anyway. Okay. When I went for the Lexus, I asked them, "What you using?" And we run Experian. Yeah, and how you know is this is a good way. How you know? Lock everything. Lock everything on your credit report. Lock Experian. Lock TransUnion. Lock them. And then when they get ready to run your credit report, well, we can't get no numbers on you. You must be locked or something. Oh, I am. Oh, well, which one you want me to unlock? Experian or Equifax? Then you know. All right, so they getting ready to run Equifax. Look at it real quick. I swear I done this a long time ago. I done something like that, and I went to get. I think I had a Honda, and I didn't know what was in my credit report. I said, "Oh, but you know what? I had them all locked, and keep them locked. Keep them locked till you get ready to use them. Okay, open them when you gotta use them. Lock it back. Lock it right back. And that reminds me, I gotta lock one of mine back. Okay. Look at your credit report. There's a whole different report for a car. It's different. Look at your car score before you walk into that bench. Look at your car score before you go in there. Now there are some dealers. I mean, they're gonna approve you with 10,000 down. Of course they will. They about to split that themselves. But then there are those that I mean, they got one. They got the Lexus down here was nothing. You go to CT, they call it 700 Club. If you ain't got 700, you ain't about to come walk out of there with no Lexus. I'll come down here, boom, no problem. You see, yeah, so you have different people, different folk, different stroke. But again, lock your credit reports. Lock your credit reports. Um, and be prepared if you go into a car dealer, they're gonna run you with several. They're gonna run you with several. Tell them, that's it. No, okay, that's it. Or ask them ahead of time, who are you going to run me with? You know, when you get ready to buy your house, they don't want to see all this stuff on there. Okay? So just keep that up. So remember those FICO scores, FICO 2, FICO 8, I think it's a FICO 4. Okay? Look at FICO.com and it will give you your house scores. Okay? I don't know what that is. Okay, I don't know. Wi-Fi must be acting out because it looks like I'm going in and out. I don't know if I'm going in and out, y'all. Y'all can still archive this and take a look at this chat. So I'm getting ready to go. Make sure you guys open the chat panel. That is for CFPB. That is who you're going to be doing your disputes with. I don't know what that is up there. I'm about to make my dinner in a minute. Okay. Look at the chats. Okay, I'm going to consider this as your credit chat for. Make sure you look at it. But the CFPB, that's the one that I wanted to give you, and I think I still have those links in the other ones. Okay. Um. So the inquiries, that's what we're starting with. Your next chat will be about the body. What we're going to do about the body. If you want to, let's say you do want to negotiate some of what's in there and you want to just negotiate it. Negotiate it down. You make sure they give you something in writing that says we are going to take this settlement offer for what's in her credit report, and they are physically going to take it out if you need to. But you have to have a physical written letter from them. We are going to remove this from your credit report. Okay. If you have a collection in there, your best bet for the collection is to fight the collection. Because even if you pay them, they're not going to take it out. They could say whatever they want. They got one that's terrible. I can't think of the name of them. Boy, you got to fight them. And, to get that thing removed out of there. But do not give in. Do not give in. Let them continue to fight. And if you feel like you're just gonna give up, you just can't do it. I would just try until you can get to where you need to get to. Okay. So I'm not quite an hour in. I'm only like 6 minutes away from the hour. But that's the route that we're going to go with that. Okay. So if anybody does have inquiries, okay, that's where we're starting at. You're gonna what's that noise? You're gonna submit them all at one time. Okay, they're in there for 2 years. They should have been out already. Okay, so my code is, okay, know your credit. Okay, because especially when you can go use your business credit, they check to see what's in your credit too. They check to see what's in your credit because that's your backup. That's your backup if something goes wrong for the beginning. And everybody's not perfect. I mean, everybody have issues. Everybody needs to start all over. You might want to try different stuff. Okay. So I'm going to sign off. You guys go ahead and get those inquiries out and use that CFPB any kind of way you want to. Hit that FICO.com so you can see all your mortgage scores. Okay. I'm out of here. Bye.